and as it's a perfect example of how naive we can be when we don't know what we're doing. Here I am, a grown-up man, trying to make music for licensing, and I had these questions like, do I need a bank account in the US? Do I need to be in touch with the IRS? How do I go about filling up the information for taxes? This is all before I even got started selling music. And what I did, I was so desperate that I grabbed my original passport, my original British passport, my only form of ID, okay, here in Greece, and I mailed it to them. Okay, I put them in the actual mail. And what do you think it happened? Hello friend, Daniel here with StockMusicLicensing.com, bringing you the best tips and strategies for selling your music on royalty-free libraries. Another video, another question, another answer. Hello, I found your YouTube channel quite recently and it's great. Thank you for all the information. Thank you very much for the lovely words. Here we go. I've seen you are part of BMI, even though you live outside the US. I've done a video about this already. There's a lot of confusion when it comes down to PROs. I was there, I've been there when I first got started. There's a lot of confusion about this. I do believe that there is an easier way to get started, and that's the purpose of this channel, and this is the purpose of these videos. I'm looking to start on the stock music licensing, and I'm struggling with the part that I am from Brazil. Okay, so here again, talking about that you live in a different country and you want to sell your music on royalty-free libraries, you can join your local PRO or you can join an international one, okay? I would love if you make a video about that. Why didn't you join the PRO from your country? I live in Greece. The reason why I didn't join here in the Greek PRO is because when I first got started, I didn't have a PRO whatsoever. And basically, you can just join an I'm looking to start selling music on stock libraries and I'm struggling with this part. I am from Brazil. This is very common. You can join your local one in Brazil or you can join BMI as an international composer if you want to. There's nothing wrong with that. I would love if you make a video about that, why you didn't join the PRO in your country. I live in Greece, but I don't need to join the Greek PRO. When the time I got started, I was new to music licensing as well, like you were, and I just decided to go for BMI as an international composer or writer, if you will. There's nothing wrong. I could have joined the one here in Greece. It's not a problem. Did you have to pay a fee as a producer or register as a writer? No, you don't need to pay a fee, at least with BMI. I don't know how is it with ASCAPs and other PROs, so I can't really talk about that. But with BMI, it's very easy to just join. You don't need to pay anything. You just do everything online. Like I said, back in the day, I did it through the mail, actually, with I have to fill up a form and mail it to them and all of this. Nowadays, it's very easy. You don't need to pay anything. It's free of charge. Do you need to have a US bank account? No, you don't need to have a US bank account. Well, there's no need for that, okay? This is not the way it works. You can just do everything online nowadays, so you don't need to have a bank account in the US. And the reason why I kind of laugh a little bit about that is because I did something stupid when I first got started as well. That's something for another video. When I first got started, I was so naive about all of this that I thought up as well that you might need to contact the IRS, for example. And I was here in Greece and I wanted to join BMI and I was thinking how can I fill out my tax information? This is all before I even got started selling music. At this point, I haven't even recorded one single music track and I'm not selling anything on any libraries. And here I am talking to the IRS. I even mailed them my original British passport through the mail from Greece all the way to America because I wanted to have everything in place. This is perfect, and as this is a perfect example of how naive we can be when we don't know what we're doing. Here I am, a grown-up man, trying to make music for licensing, and I had these questions like, do I need a bank account in the US? Do I need to be in touch with the IRS? How do I go about filling up the information for taxes? This is all before I even got started selling music. And what I did, I was so desperate that I grabbed my original passport, my original British passport, my only form of ID, okay, here in Greece, and I mailed it to them. Okay, I put them in the actual mail. And what do you think it happened? My only form of ID in a foreign country here in Greece that I had was my British passport, and it got lost in the mail, and I never found it. I don't know what happened to it, even though it was a really good service that I chose to mail my passport. And here I am, you know. this is why I'm so passionate about sharing my experience with you, to just let you know that it's much more, there's a simple way to go about this, and don't overcomplicate anything. If you haven't made any sales yet, don't complicate things. You can always join a PRO in your country, or BMI if you want to, but you don't need to have a US bank account, okay? You don't need to overcomplicate things. What happened to me is that I lost my British passport, and I had endless calls to the IRS from here Greece to the IRS, asking them for my passport and why the reasons that I sent the passport to them. This is really stupid. This is almost embarrassing. I should actually edit this out of the video. You know, I had to declare my passport as lost or stolen, whatever, here to the police, and I had to apply for a new one. So it cost me a lot of money, actually. And this is all before I even got started selling music, all right? Little did I know that there's an easy way to do this. You just join BMI, you fill up AWBEN online. Well, back in the day I did it over the mail, it wasn't online, but nowadays it's so simple. And you know, the only thing I remember is that the person on the IRS phone call for customer service, I guess it was, so the only thing they were saying to me, have you sold anything? And I'm like, no, but I'm looking to sell something. And that's an embarrassing story, really, actually. So you don't need to have a bank account in America to receive that money, okay? Sorry for all the questions. No, this is perfectly fine. This is a very good question, actually. There's a lot. That's why I told you the story about my passport. And let me just screenshot this one, because I like to share the questions in the videos. Listen, this is very common. We make a lot of mistakes, especially in the beginning. Before we get started, we feel that we need to get everything in order, and we think that it's more complicated than it actually is, but it's really simple, okay? Again, PROs is really complicated topic for a lot of composers, even experienced composers. I can't tell you how many people I know that they're already experienced composers, and they might be they're not selling their music, they're actually pitching their music for publishers, and or bigger libraries, higher end libraries, if you will, and they license their music that way, and they get performance royalties and whatnot through PROs. Now, these composers, they're completely naive when it comes down to Pond 5 and Audio Jungle, and when they want to join Audio Jungle and Pond 5, they don't know how to go about it, and they think that it might be a problem if they're affiliated with a PRO. So even composers that have a lot of experience in the industry, they don't know how to sell music on royalty-free libraries, which is a lot easier to do, because actually you can now sell music on royalty-free libraries and still be affiliated with a PRO. There's nothing wrong with that. And still a lot of composers, they don't know who is the one who's paying the performance royalties, who's the person who fills out the cue sheet, because they believe that this is something that it might deter as well the clients or the customers on royalty-free libraries. So this is totally normal when it comes down to PROs, and I know that there's a lot of questions about PROs, so it's my goal to hopefully get rid of the overwhelm when it comes down to what PROs you want to join, how do you collect your money through a PRO, and what to do, okay? So I will try to keep it as simple as possible here on this channel when it comes down to PROs and royalty-free libraries, specifically royalty-free libraries and stock libraries like Pond 5, Audio Jungle. I have mentioned that Pond 5 as well, they have now what is called Pond 5 Publishing. And I'm just part of it now, recently joined, so I will share more about that. And what that means is that I can sell my music on Pond 5 to a YouTuber, to somebody that is a content creator, and at the same time I can sell that to a network or a broadcaster, and it can be used on a TV or it can be placed somewhere, and I can still collect royalties that way. And in Pond 5, what it's going to be doing is doing the heavy lifting, if you will, to see where that music is being used. So that's a great thing, in my opinion, because I don't have to search or work around to see who's using my music that has been bought on Pond 5. If I get a placement, or if my music is being used by a network or a broadcaster. So that's that, really. You know, there's a lot of confusion, like I say. I hope I can share more about my experience, as well as somebody that sells music on royalty-free libraries. And now going through Pond 5, I want to share more about that, how is that unfolding. It takes time as well. Even if I had a music track that is being placed right now, it will take time, you know, to get that information into BMI and Pond 5 do their thing, and hopefully I can get some, you know, more money, if you will, from that single sale. So it's an upfront sale, and at the same time there's royalties. So again, I hope this video is helpful to you. If you're new to music licensing or to royalty-free libraries, download my free guide, link in the description. I love you all very much. Thank you for all the love and support. And as always, rock and roll, and here's to your success.